Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to BB's Customs. I'm Rich, and today we are going to start looking at the new project. Okay, so it's been a little while since I've done a video on the channel, so thanks very much for all your patience. For those of you who don't know, we've had a recent addition to the family, so the timescales of things have changed somewhat. The old project, the CB, the raffle didn't go ahead on that because basically too many people thought that I was trying to screw them over. They thought it was going to be a scam, so that will be going up for sale in the new year. For now, I have just moved it out. I have found a place to store it, so that's tucked away all nice and safe, and it's made room for this to come in. Now this is a, what year is it? Hang on. M-Reg LM, so that's 97. This is a 1997 Suzuki GS500E, so it's considerably bigger, twice the size of what the old bike was. Not the most exciting of machines at the shop, to be fair. They are excellent commuter bikes, they're good workhorses, they are pretty bulletproof. This one, however, is missing a few bits, like the front, the headlight, the clusters are gone. A lot of the lights and control switches are still there, forks are still there, although I don't really care because, oh no, I'll tell you that in a minute. So, it also doesn't have any keys. So obviously the first thing, because I've got no history on this bike, I don't even know if it runs. So in order to find that out, I need to be able to turn it on. I don't want to faff around with hot wiring and things like that. So I need to get the battery out to get it on charge. To get the battery out, I need to get the seat off. To get the seat off, I need a key. Sort of. We're going to use the lock for the seat to get a new key made. So I need to get that off the bike. But once that's off the bike, I can take the seat off anyway, and then we'll be away. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Please don't use it for illicit reasons. Getting keys for bikes which aren't yours and things, that's not good form. It's not appreciated. I'm sure you won't. I'm sure you're all lovely people, but I've had bikes stolen from me in the past. It's not a pleasant experience, so I'm showing you this on good faith. So let's get going. Okay, so this right here is the lock we're going to try and get off, because it's the easiest one to get off. The other, there's only three locks on the bike. There's this one, there's the one on the tank, and there's the one on the ignition, all of which are a pain. This one's the easiest to get off. This is the latch to get the seat off. So in order to get access to this, it's a bit of a faff, but we need to get up underneath all of this. That's not held on by much anyway, so that'd be easy. Get underneath this. We're going to take so this little pin here, this is attached to, it's sort of like a grab rail or a luggage support bracket which goes up underneath the tail of the bike. So we're going to loosen that, get that out the way, and then that should give us access to the bolts which hold this on. Okay, so if we look up, I've had to turn the lights off because obviously you'd get glare coming down from all of this up here. So I've turned the lights off so we can have a look underneath. So this is the bar we need to get rid of. We're going to get access to it by popping the fairing off. There is a bolt or a nut just here. We're going to undo that, get this out of the way, and then we should be able to get access to this, which is what we're after. Ta-da! Okay, so now we've got this bolt out. That's a 12mm bolt on there, by the way, if you ever need to do this. this should now just pivot down with a little bit of persuasion, like that. Now on top of here, we've got two Phillips head nuts. No, screws. We'll take them out. Where's my screwdriver? There's my screwdriver. Little bit of a squeeze. One. Two. So we should now be able to get this out. Like that. So now that that's free, we can pop that off of there, pull that, and that has undone the seat. Let's take this, oh no, we'll leave that on there for now, just in case. Okay, let's have a look and see what's inside. And bugger, no battery. Item number 1 on the shopping list. Right, let's take this off because we want that. We do want that. Like so. So hopefully we can now take this to a locksmith who will be able to replicate the key that goes into it. Fingers crossed he'll be able to get the whole key, because looking at the back of that, it might not need the whole key to open this up. But we can give it a go. Right, so we've got the seat off, which is a start. That makes life a bit easier. The current plan is, hang on, backstory. Right, I, amongst other things, am very fond of doing things like bushcraft and camping and going off into the woods and things like that. So my thoughts for this are to make sort of like a survival bike, crossed with something a little bit like post-apocalyptic or Walking Dead sort of thing. So we are going to completely take the back of this bike off, cut it off here, rebuild the whole thing to get a much straighter line off of there. We are going to change the shock. We are going to give it the ability to carry stuff. So I'm thinking like jerry can storage, things like that. Maybe have a jerry can for fuel and modify another jerry can so that it can be used as a pannier or something like that. Tyre wise, we're going to go for something big and chunky because, you know, that's just what I like. Tank. This tank is actually in half decent condition. I don't know obviously what it's like inside because I can't get into it. But the paint job is definitely going to change. I might change the tank. If I can find a tank off of the later model bike, they fit straight onto this and they've got like a much more like defined top. I prefer the look of those. These are a little bit narrow. If not, I may decide to just put a spine on here and change the tank completely. Haven't decided yet. Need to look into how difficult that's going to be once I get this off. So the front of the bike, I don't care about really, because these forks, the seals are shot. I have no idea what's going on with these. The wiring is all here for the headlight and the indicators, the ignition, things like that, so that's really good. I would like to do a complete front end swap on this. Maybe get something off of like an R6 or a CBR 600, something like that, with upside down forks, if I can, depends on the money situation, and make a new stem to go through the head stock on this. Put a complete, like a much chunkier front end on. There's nothing wrong with this front end for the bike. Is absolutely perfect. Can't fault it. But you know, where's the fun in keeping it like that? Let's see if we can do something a little bit different with it. So yeah, we'll put that on. That will also mean I'll get 2 discs and calipers on the front, which means better braking, which is always nice. Slightly firmer front suspension, which would be good. Handlebars, the clip-ons, they look alright for this particular setup on here, but obviously with the different forks I'm not limited to anything, I can do what I want. So we'll probably have some like Renthal style, so like motocross or Street Fighter style bars on top of here, which will give us something a little bit more of a meaner look, which I quite like. Exhaust, don't know about the exhaust. This one's, it looks solid, it's got some surface rust, but exhausts always do. The back box, not the back box, it's a terrible term, the muffler on the end, that's going because it looks awful. We'll have something much more sort of like, I want it to look like it's just been grabbed off of something and put on to make do, so we'll have a go at doing that ourselves. The engine, hopefully, if it runs, big if it runs, we'll take that out. I know for a fact that this bike hasn't ran for at least 5.5, 6 years. So it's going to need a little bit of TLC. Carbs, we'll check those out as well. They are definitely going to need a clean, a service. I'll replace everything in those. With the engine, I might do a complete overhaul, change the pistons, put new rings in, everything. So that'll be a fair few episodes to do that, I imagine. What else? A friend of mine at work did suggest perhaps trying to fit a turbo to this, but it would be cool to have a turbo-powered twin-cylinder bike, but the horsepower on this thing is shocking anyway. Fresh out the shop, they barely had, I think they had like 35 horsepower, something like that, maybe even less, 32, somewhere around there. Even if you chucked a turbo on, you probably wouldn't expect to get more than 40 out of it. So maybe on a later project we'll look at doing something like that, but for now we'll keep it as it is. We'll tidy it up a bit. Lights, I've got an idea in my mind for lights, something much more sort of off-road, not off-roady, but not on-road either. It's very difficult to explain. I'll have to show you when I make it. But yeah, there's an awful lot of work which is going to be going on with this. So hopefully that'll give you some insight and make you want to watch more and more, because without you guys there's no point in me even doing this. This bike will, I don't know what I'm going to do with this when it's finished. I might just keep it and ride it around for a bit and then bring the Virago in and start tinkering with that, because you can never have too many projects on the go, says no one ever. But right, I am going to hop in the car, take that lock to the local locksmith and see if he can help me out by getting a new key. Please feel free to chuck into the comments box anything you particularly want to see me do on this. If you have a bike similar and you need to do some work, if you want to see how it's done, or have had a go in the past, or you're just interested anything at all, just give me a shout, pop it in the comments, and I'll try and work it in. If you've got any thoughts as to how this bike should look at the end, chuck that in as well. I mean, this is blank canvas territory. What I've got in my mind is going to take a while to make. If you've got thoughts, I mean, I've seen a lot of people who have done street scramblers out of these things, a lot of cafe races out of these things. So I want to try and avoid doing the typical finish on these bikes. I'll save that for another time. But on this one, we're going to do something a little bit more, what's the word, unique. Yeah, let's stick with that, unique. That sounds nice, doesn't it? So yeah, thanks very much for your time. Hopefully I'll see you soon. The episodes are going to be a little bit further strung out than before. I was trying to get them out once a week before this. It might be once every 2 weeks now, depending on when I actually get a chance to come in, because I've got other bits going on in the house at the moment. So please be patient, and I will get things done as soon as I can. As I said, drop a comment in the box. I'll always try and answer them. It's great to hear from you guys and hear what your thoughts are on things. Anything else? Anything else I need to do? No, I don't think so. Thanks for coming back. I'll catch you next time. Cheers.